Mama's House of Penthouse, and today we talking about an amazing topic. We talked about leadership. How you feel about today's topic?
Leadership today, man. This topic was an excellent topic to talk about because it was one of those things that I've been wanting to get off of my chest for a long time. And I'm pretty sure, as you spoke about it today, as they continue to listen to it, they definitely understand this is something that we were definitely both passionate about speaking about. So today's episode about leadership is one that you definitely do not want to miss, man.
We talked about some amazing stuff today. We talked about how to become a more powerful leader. We talked about how to integrate leadership into your life. And we also talked about the one most profound insight that we learned about leadership. You do not want to miss this one, I promise. Anything else?
I'm God. I will get big checks. It's just what's going to happen.
That's going to happen.
It's just going to happen,
With the
bro.
big checks.
We're going to build your neck, bro. Every day. That's a professional pitcher. I know success, yeah.
I built it from nothing. I don't give a fuck.
What even qualifies you to tell somebody you're going to fail? Like, are you like a MBA, like from Harvard? It's like, have you studied?
If I gotta risk everything to do this shit, I'm gonna do it.
Yeah.
To $1, son.
Get in, hurry up, everybody.
I told you. So, right off the bat, we should address this, right?
Yeah, we should definitely address this step one.
Yeah, okay, step one. Can we talk about this?
Okay, so briefly, because we got an excellent episode ahead of you right now. This guy, he does whatever he wants.
Yeah.
Whatever he wants to do, he does it. I talked to him before the episode. I said, Congo is his name. I said, say, man, I feel you on the top of the couch stuff.
Yeah.
You know, your whole sweet spot. That's what you do. But out of respect for us, could you please, let us
film this.
He say, I got you. What are you doing right now?
Yeah.
Man?
And see, thing is, like you said, you don't live with him. He doesn't live with you.
We live with him.
Yeah, exactly.
He does whatever he wants.
And that's why Congo is now a new mascot, because we're trying to help people create a future where you're in control. Obviously, Congo does whatever the hell he wants.
Right.
Because that's what it is.
Is that what it is? Is that what no?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
So, Pete, but before we even get started, Congo. See.
Congo, can we? He at least moved his ear.
Can you at least say hey to everybody right there? Hey. All right. Go back to sleep, bro.
Okay.
Just don't move. That's cool.
Yeah. Just try to keep it. Damn.
Savage life.
Yeah. Woo.
It's been a minute, right?
Yeah. 2 weeks.
Well, not really.
Well, not
We've been, yeah.
Not for us.
For us, yeah.
For
well,
us.
no, for them.
Yeah.
Well, no, not for nobody, really.
Yeah, I guess so.
Sometimes, guys, we create so much content. I told you we were content whores at this point.
Yeah.
I am.
This guy, you already got 10 episodes of a podcast that you haven't released. I got 8 videos.
Back office.
The videos I go filming, I got 8.
Yeah.
Amazing.
Logged up, yeah. And even with me, the separate podcasts that I'm doing right now, I'm going to use this as a diary, bro. Like, I think this is like 2018, and you don't have to write. Like, so many people are stuck in the
Stone Age?
The Stone Age, and they believe that, I mean, of course, come on, man, don't get me wrong. Nothing like writing your thoughts down and doing those things like that. But I can't wait 20, 30 years from now, man, to go back to a podcast on
and
iTunes.
listen to
it.
Yeah.
And I talk about it. I talk about that type of stuff because on my separate podcast, and I haven't even been promoting. It's not even really a thing. It's more so of one of those situations is when you catch us later on down the line.
Yeah.
And I'll plug in and say, man, I documented my whole journey.
Yeah.
That was
one of the main themes of what my whole YouTube everything was about.
Yeah.
Because I know the content in the beginning is not going to be as good as the stuff we'll produce in the future.
Yeah.
But I think part of me is I like to go look at them. Like sometimes I go look at them and I can kind of see how I was thinking at that current moment, because I like them because, you know, when you're young, you think a certain way, right? Mm-hmm. You might look back and you say, damn, what the fuck was I thinking at that point in my life?
Exactly.
Well, it's cool to see some of your best thoughts from certain points in your life. You can see what stuff you kind of changed,
yeah,
and then the type of stuff that was, oh yeah, I kind of always thought that, because I looked at some old interviews of mine,
oh yeah,
or some old videos of mine, and I was still talking about the similar stuff. Like you could see my understanding got deeper, but at the core, the principle of what I was trying to create and stuff like that, that message has been there. I think that even for myself, that's something I appreciate about watching these old videos. And then I think it's interesting that we live in a time where, like, say having children, they'll be able to see a record of you like nobody else. Like you, exactly. You know what I'm saying? Like you can't. You might be able to see little videos of your parents, maybe at a little party, but they can see
snippets. They can see the
everything.
Whole journey.
Yeah,
the whole journey is documented, and that's my thing. That's my overall goal. And inside of that podcast, I talk to people about what we do, the back office baloney of what we do. Most people only see the food on the table. But nobody likes Jazz got some food.
Jazz loves to eat, bro.
As soon as I say food on the table, I look over.
We got some pizza last week. Jazz went outside with us.
Yeah, just to
grab the pizza. I got a clip of it, so I'm gonna put it in there just so she can be like, I wasn't. Yes, you was.
Yeah.
She came outside. She was dancing. She was dancing like, yeah, it's the pizza. Like, it's crazy, bro.
Yeah.
I was trying to offer my assistance.
Right.
Yeah. Oh.
But now, most people just see the food on the table. They don't really see the back office baloney portion of everything. So, they don't really see the back office baloney portion of everything. So I get back there and I kind of talk to everybody about just grabbing a lot of my friends in different areas and try to see what are the things that we don't recognize in their industry. So I interviewed a model from London.
Yeah.
So she explained to me the back office portion of modeling and just stuff that you don't understand or we don't understand because we're not in that particular niche. So that was always some cool stuff that I just wanted to use. I encourage everybody that's listening right now, don't be stuck in the Stone Age. We definitely have an amazing episode for you, but I think this is some cool stuff to just start off with. Don't be stuck in the Stone Age.
I agree with that. I mean, I feel like there's an opportunity right now to, I always say, at the end of your life, what do you want it to look like? I think whatever happens with us, right?
Yeah.
Success, failure, amazing things, or whatever, I think it's still gonna be interesting to look back on it, right? It's gonna be interesting to look back and like, shit, look at all the stuff we did. Like, this exists and it's out there in the world. Like, we got multiple episodes of this, and I think that's what I'm really interested in. Like, one thing I love that you said, you told me one day, you was like, yeah, of course, the money's cool and all that, but I'm here for everything. And I knew what you meant by that, which was basically the experiences in life, because I believe that's
for the story.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I believe that's I mean, that's all we really have at the end, right?
That's what it's about.
I'm not trying to be 80 and look back and be like, the story was just kind of the same every day. Yeah.
Stagnant.
I want like, whoa,
yeah,
whoa,
I wanted to
whoa,
yeah, exactly.
like, you know what I'm saying?
I want it to be like a dramatic dip in the
I think that's a small thing. And before we get into this, I think that's the thing though, right?
Yeah.
We always like to even look down on the low points, but it's like, I think the best lives are where you have really lows, but you have like super high highs that nobody else like they'll never experience because they never experienced lows.
Yeah.
Whereas most people's lives is like they have small dips, small highs, small dips. But I think to experience truly high highs, you do have to go through these periods where
extremely low droughts. Yeah. And that definitely is a thing and something that we all should think about too. But let's go ahead and get it popping, man. I want to go ahead and see today, Pete. I read over the questions for today, and for those of you, if this is your first time, we're about to go ahead and tap into our Mama's House Mail.
So today I want to do something a bit interesting.
Okay.
I've been getting this question so much, and it's kind of hard to put it in words, but I've heard it said in so many ways. So we'll put like something up for Mama's House Mail, just to kind of the basis of this question. But it's something that has been on my mind lately, and I do want to address. And it's the idea of how do I become a great leader?
Oh, yeah.
Now, leadership, when we talk about leadership, it could be, look at Jazz back there. She tried to reverse psychology. We talking about which topic you gonna talk about? She said, I'm gonna just talk about whatever you trying to talk about the opposites. Oh, I want to talk about this one. I was like, no, whatever, right? You know, it's one of the things no matter what you pick, they're gonna be, that's what I wanted you to pick.
Exactly.
So, yeah. But anyway, no, but I wanted to talk about this. Really has been on my mind lately because I was talking to a friend of mine, the world's most hated promoter, and I was talking to him about this idea of the evolution of leadership. And I think the thing is, what's interesting to me this time, is just how you can be a leader of an industry, how you can be a leader of an organization, and just be a plain leader of maybe just your social circle and things like that. Like, how does that actually become? Because I believe there's a lot of mainstream narrative, and there's a lot of great books on the idea of leadership. Like, you can read some of John Maxwell's stuff. He talks about, I think it's the 21 Laws of Leadership or something like that. But I want to get more specifically on what I believe the barriers are to leadership and talk about some more practical things, because I believe you can read a book about leadership, but the thing I've realized in my own evolution, that there's emotional things that stop you from being a great leader.
And I think emotional barriers that you have to, not emotional barriers, but emotional characteristics that our leaders have.
Yeah.
And I think those things, once you continue to listen to this episode to the end, you'll definitely understand that those characteristics are things that you'll definitely see in some of your friends or yourself, or like your mom, your dad. So I think just understanding why a leader is who a leader is and why people follow a person. Like, my thing is, man, you got people that do something like, okay, like, you got people who do amazing things. Yeah. And we all are human. Yeah. So my thing is, how is this person, why does this person, even is something as small as Instagram, we can dumb it down a little bit, right? Why does one person have multi-millions of followers and other ones have 60 or 70? Yeah. You know what I'm saying? And I think these are people, like, I remember going to Splash Town, right? And looking around, and in the naked eye, you can't see who has a large following, whether it's Instagram or social media, person, like in person, or all types of things. Like, you can't see it. But if I was to go talk to everybody individually, I would be able to pick from each conversation instantaneously who was a leader or not. Yeah. So,
and I think today what we're gonna do something special. Once you stick with us to the end, I'm gonna give the most powerful thing I've learned about becoming a great leader. The absolute most powerful thing. And so this is stuff like, if you want to be a leader of an industry, if you want to be somebody who leads an organization or anything like this, just from the multiple times I've been in leadership positions, the multiple times that I've actually been in positions where I had to be under other leaders, just the characteristics I noticed and the difference in leaders. And I think if you'll learn this stuff, this will definitely allow you to be somebody who leads the industry. Yeah. And I think it's not going to be what you usually hear, because I'm not talking about something that's like, okay, have confidence or have it's nothing like that. But this shit is powerful, what I'm talking about. Yeah. Because it's just a realization I came to as I had to build up an organization. Oh yeah. And it's just shit that I believe, like we said, it's the document, right?
Well, I love us, bro, because a lot of the shit that we talk about is pure trial and error. Yeah, we're going through it. I hope as people continue to listen to this and stick with us until the end, I hope that people understand that we're not just like talking out of the side of our neck. You understand what I'm saying? Like, this is not a group of two individuals who decided to do a podcast because we wanted more followers. Yeah. Like we said, this podcast, I you know what's strange about us now? Now that we understand that we're frequently getting downloads, it's not even a thing anymore where we check it. Now it becomes this thing like, we killing iTunes. Let's continue to do what we came for.
Let's put out this content.
Content. So that's pretty much, and I just think, I said all that to say all of those things that you would definitely learn by the end of this episode is just characteristics of leaders who understand certain things.
And I think it's the observation of it too. Oh, yeah. And like I said, I think the big thing why this episode has been on my mind, because I've observed. So I want you to imagine somebody right now, and you may realize this type of scenario. So let's take person one, right? Yeah. This person is not very talented. Yeah. Or let's go the opposite direction. So take a person who's very talented. I mean, they have a lot of skills. They're very well spoken. If you talk to them, they have a lot of great ideas about the world. and stuff that's really groundbreaking that could change the world if somebody ever heard them speak.
Exactly.
Around other people are always telling them that, hey, you great, you should put your stuff out there, you should be, maybe they tell you something like you should be on TV or you should be out there. Like, let's say you do comedy or you're funny, like you should be a person who's on television. If you're a great business mind, they're like, man, you should start your own business, your own organization. Or people are always telling you stuff, but they never go anywhere. But then let's go to this opposite person in the spectrum. Nobody's ever told them shit. Nobody's ever told them they should be anything. But somehow, something about them allows them to still be the leader. They're actually the one who's out there creating the stuff that other person wished they could create. They're actually looking at other people on a podcast. They're looking at other people on television. They're listening to other people on YouTube and like, oh my God, I think like that. I thought about these ideas, but they never put that out there, right? And Congo, he loved it. They never put that out there, right? What's the difference? And that's what I want to dive into, what I've kind of understood during this episode is like, what's the difference? Why is that person a leader? Because I can tell you it's not the skills. It's not none of those things. And I think the things that we're talking about today, you got to wonder. Why? Why could you have a great idea and then all of a sudden this other person who doesn't have as much skills as you, who's not as good as you, who doesn't have as much talent as you, why are they the leader
of this particular
while
situation?
You're sitting back like, oh man, I should have spoke up and said something. And I remember one thing I was reading, it's in Ralph Waldo Emerson's essay on self-reliance.
Book drop.
Everybody should read this essay, right?
Book drop.
And it might not have been self-reliance. It's another one less known called History, I believe it was, right?
Okay.
And I remember listening to this, and he said, and I'm paraphrasing because I can never remember the quote. I have to find it, right? But it said, if you don't put yourself out there, basically, you'll have to shamelessly watch as your ideas are uttered from another man's lips. And that always struck a chord with me because I remember having great ideas and just not putting them out there.
Man,
and then you'll see somebody else do it.
If you haven't done it, you've heard a family member come back to you and say, man, I thought of that.
Exactly.
Or your mom come back and said, man, my brother thought of that.
Your
uncle thought of that when we were
exactly. You like, but they probably did.
They probably did though. I'm serious. Like the exact invention, the exact thing that came out.
I give you a prime example. My cousin, you know how the screen share? Like how you can move stuff from screen to screen. I swear he thought about that when we was kids.
When we was screen to screen.
Like just how, like he was like, man, I remember we was young. He said, man, you know it'd be live if you could have your phone and you could like from your phone swipe something to the screen. And I remember like,
do that?
Yeah, there's apps that do that, right?
Huh?
Yeah. Just get into the technology world, man.
I'm in it.
You just talked about the Stone Age.
I know I'm in it, but hold on.
I mean, it's like screen sharing. It's stuff like that, right?
So I can have my phone next to my computer, throw something to my computer.
It's a sync thing, right? I actually don't know what the specific look. Alex is mind going
like,
back.
what's the name of that?
But the whole point is, I remember I was just sitting down one day and I saw a commercial come on and I saw the person throw it. I said, "Oh my God! Like, holy shit, that's it, right?" Now, I mean, I could talk about, the ability to execute. Like, I'm not trying to give anybody that pass because you thought of an idea. You should feel like pat yourself on the back. But the point we're talking about today is, why did that person take that idea and then turn it into something? And why did the person who didn't take that idea, it was just an idea?
You know what most people might say though, P, before
What's
we
that?
get started? Most people might blame it on money. And that's another thing that I thought too growing up. Not having enough money to execute your ideas and things like that. And now that shit might have been true back in the Gap, and that's fair enough though, because we've talked about marketing to our clients. We even got demographic sheets that we give them. And we let them know, all right, these are the demographics of what's going on today, man. You need to get with the program because the same old shit that was working back in the Gap just isn't working anymore. So we need you to go ahead and get with the new crowd, the in crowd, man, and just get with the people that are going through what's going on
in
right
Breakthrough
now.
Advertising, which is like the greatest book written on sales copy, or rated one of the greatest books on sales copywriting. He talked about over time, markets become more sophisticated.
Exactly.
So you think about it like, if I come in and I say, buy new shoes, right? Or a free pair of shoes, buy one, get one free. Well, think about it. At some point in time, everybody's familiar with the buy one, get one free. At this point. But think about it. One time, somebody was the first person to do buy one, get one free. That probably was like, oh shit, they probably just destroyed everything. Like everybody was like, oh my God, how they doing it, right? But then eventually, everybody started understanding buy one, get one free. Buy one, get one free. So now, you have to do some different type of deal because the market has become used to that.
Yeah.
And that's what I feel like a lot of people don't understand. It's like the sophistication moves up. And that's why I think even still our understanding of things about what is it like to lead people, it's not that the principles are different, but it's an aspect that I feel like you only learn this shit by going through it.
Yeah.
That's why I think it's so interesting. I love about Mama's House to Penthouse. It's like intellectually you could understand if I told you 21 ways to be a leader.
Yeah.
But emotionally, for you to internalize that and actually act it out, that would be different. I heard this video one time. He's talking about. He said, "Your skills are only what you can almost subconsciously do." Right. So it's like, if in a leadership situation, it's like, "Hey, you need to step up this way." You could know. I could tell you. I'd be like, "Yeah, I know I need to step up." But then when it happens, you don't do it. It's like, well, you actually still don't have the knowledge. Yeah. You intellectually understand, but you haven't emotionally.
You heard about it.
Exactly.
But it isn't instilled in you. Yeah. That's kind of like I thought about my ability to cut hair. You know, that's one of the side things. So oftentimes when I'm doing it, it's like I'm using the time to literally think about other things. It's like I'm not even focusing on providing that service because it's a skill that I've engraved in my every muscle in my body. I understand how to do it without thinking about it. So it's literally become muscle memory.
Have you heard about the 4 stages of learning before?
Yes, I heard them from you back in the Gap.
Yeah. So I had that on that free course we did.
Yeah. Of course.
Matter of fact, we'll go over that again because I think that's a good thing. So I want to start with then. Let's get into it.
Let's go ahead and get in the meat and bones.
What I want to start with then is this, right? Is what really stops you from being a leader, right?
Yeah.
What is it? What is it, D?
What is the thing?
What is
the thing that has people complaining? Right?
Yeah, exactly. And then I guess from there we'll talk about what we just talked about. Okay. Is like the integration of it, like the levels you'll go through with integration.
Not a big word, but the integration. Not of course, integration is a big word, but my thing is so many people sleep on putting shit together. That's how my thing is. It's like it's not just look at her. She's like integration DJ. That's big. Yeah. Come on, let's not do this.
Yeah,
this
come
episode.
on, Jazz.
I think they've understood it, and I think they already get
by
it.
this episode. And maybe I guess if you watch, maybe this is your first episode coming in. If you like, oh shit, oh shit, what are they talking about?
Don't even say it, bro. Okay. It's done.
It's finished.
It's done.
Okay, yeah. But go ahead, continue.
I was just basically saying, so many people sleep on the idea of coming together on something. Our leaders have different. It's like walking into a fucking body shop and instilling different parts of leadership, integrating different parts of leadership
into the main vehicle.
That's why I say
that's excellent. Excellent.
That's why I say
a vehicle.
It's a big word.
We're gonna teach how to build a leadership vehicle.
Build a leadership vehicle. Your tires are equipped for all leader road
and
trips.
I want to be very clear though. What we're gonna be talking about, there's a lot of stuff.
Tools.
There's a lot of stuff you could get. You could talk about. Like I said, I could recommend some books about leadership just so you can get some technical points. I want to talk about something a little deeper though here on the show today.
I'm here.
And then I think, and the last thing I want to talk about is the most powerful concept I've learned that churns out high level leaders. And I guarantee you, if you apply what I'm going to tell you today, this will completely shift your whole perception on how you lead the people around you. Sound good?
Sound good to me. Episode. I'm waiting on it.
So I want to get your kind of thoughts on this and your insight. And we'll go back and forth because I think there's different reasons for this, and that's why I want to get your thoughts because this is something you've experienced, something I've experienced. Okay. But so what do you think? What do you think is the biggest reason that stops people from just being leaders?
I think it's right here, bro. It's right in your mind. I think my thing is so many people. We've talked about this in different episodes. I think that's why I said I think it's imperative that you take the time out of your lovely week, the time out of your weekend, the time out of your month to really instill some of these episodes in your brain because. Although you can come in on any episode and get whatever you need out of it, I think really listening to us in other episodes, you'll be able to really piece together a lot of different things and be able to understand what we talk about when we refer to other things. But we've talked about certain things that allow people to think down on themselves or just really like the thought process of an individual sometimes I had a friend over here last night. We had a little gathering, a foregathering. We foregathered last night.
Yeah.
And the fucking house was lit. I ain't even finna sit here and play.
Jazz ain't come though.
Jazz ain't come. Alex walked in today and said, "I don't even know
if I can look at
this place again the same." Congo killed the bird, I believe.
Yeah, out front.
I think he did.
Damn!
But no. Just to jump back where I was at though. But I just know that seriously though,
Congo really gonna do it, huh?
Yeah,
the whole
Congo.
time.
Yeah, Congo. You gotta watch him.
Yeah.
For real.
Yeah.
But he sleep. He ain't worried about that.
Yeah.
But yeah, man. Just I say I'm getting right back into it. Understanding that I was talking to my friend, of course, last night at the foregather.
The
we was outside, and I was telling.
That's what we gonna start calling all our parties.
Foregathering. Foregathers.
Yeah.
But I was telling them, man, I really want you to understand. Like, and I really I understand when parents say shit over and over.
Yeah.
And why they get so frustrated when they would do it, because it was like, bro, I told you this.
Yeah.
I've told you this.
Yeah.
My thing is, I told her last night, I say, man, I really want you to truly understand how much of a fuck people don't give about nothing that you do.
Yeah.
And I say that to say most people and most individuals, when you make decisions, I think a lot of them don't go through, or you don't push forward because you're so worried about what other people are going to say about you.
Yeah.
So this really infects your leadership.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like
your decisions, you're always thinking like,
automatically,
what will such and such think, or what will?
It's something, man. I hate to even give a lane. I've heard so many people get on platforms like this and talk about, well, you have to think positively. I'm trying to sit here and drive a different point home. I hope you understand when I literally sit here on this podcast and say, nobody gives a fuck. I just want people to honestly think about what they do when they see certain shit. And I want them to honestly believe. I just want them to just understand that people do the exact same shit when they do stuff.
I want you
say, for instance, like, okay, you got somebody who's musty, right?
Yeah.
You got somebody who's musty. Musty as fuck. I'm talking about musty.
Yeah.
How long do you talk about that person? Give me. That's a lie.
Nah. You couldn't. I promise something's gonna happen in your life. I'll give you an easy example, right?
Yeah.
Instagram. Every week there's some new activist thing that's going on, right?
Yeah.
Like, oh, this thing is going on. This thing is like people are putting on shirts and going crazy. 2 weeks later, nobody's talking about it.
Nobody's talking about it, man.
Just think about that.
Yeah.
I'm talking about some shit that you be like, wow, that's horrible that's happening.
Yeah.
Everybody posted on Instagram or social media once so they can feel like, hey, we've done it. We've shown evil in the world that we've done something, right?
Yeah.
And the next week they're on to the next, whatever. I don't even know what the fuck to call it, right? Well, kind of go like, yeah, I feel that.
Did you just get up?
So, what I'm saying is, but like you said, it's just people can easily forget. It's like people don't give a fuck. It's like, I always tell people, like, when I first used to go out to shoot the YouTube videos, I talked about that before, like, people walking by. I remember a girl came out there and filmed me one time. She was like, how do you talk with the people out there? I said, these people
don't care about me.
These people do.
They don't even know me.
They don't give a fuck.
I just want, think about people that you see when you walking and that you don't know them. What do you do to those people?
Yeah.
You don't care. Like, I'm not saying you don't care if like something bad happens to them.
It's not that you don't want anything that bad, but
like if that person was to decide to do something that was a situation to build them up towards being a leader or elevate them, you wouldn't it's not.
Yeah.
It's not like you. I'm not gonna sit here and if somebody's outside filming videos, I'm not gonna voice.
What are they out there doing?
What are you out there doing?
6 months later.
Excuse me. Stop filming. That's like nobody's. Come on, man.
It's only the one rare occasion shit like that.
Right.
Happens.
So my thing is, to answer your question, I just think it's a mind thing that most people just hold on. Whew.
Long night, yeah.
Long night. My thing is, I just believe that it's a mind thing, P. It's one of the things that it's like so many people just sit there and really tell themselves that. I mean, just put so many different scenarios in their brain.
Yeah.
Thinking about what other people believe. And
Yeah.
I think this is the thing that really just stops
Yeah.
you from becoming a leader that you want to be.
Yeah.
Of course, there are many other things.
Yeah, no, I think, but see, that's why I said, like you said, you try to drill a different point on. That's why I appreciate the point so much, because that's the same route I was going. And that's why I say the one powerful thing I'm going to give you at the end of this episode that's going to help you just completely shift the way you look at leadership. It shifted it for me, right? It's like an epiphany I've had recently. But I agree with that so much because I believe that's what I've observed with most people, right? Mm-hmm. It's like there's this great show on HBO called Succession. And I was watching this just simply because I've been managing my time better, right? Mm-hmm. And he was supposed to take over his father's company, his empire. And his father came in and like started taking everything back. And he asked, "Why'd you do this? Why'd you fuck me over?" He said, "I just feel like you're a bit soft." And what the show shows though is every time he's trying to make a decision, he's calling people, he's questioning himself, he's questioning should he make that decision. Mm-hmm. And I think they're illustrating like throughout the show. I haven't finished watching the show yet, that until he understands how to step in and be his own person, right? Mm-hmm. And not have that insecurity about, well, what will people think about the decisions, whether they're right or wrong. Mm-hmm. He'll never just be the true leader.
Exactly.
And I feel like that's what you're touching on right here.
Yeah.
It's like to me, leadership at the highest level is not an intellectual game. Yeah. And we've talked about this as far as like we talked about one of your strengths is the high emotional intelligence, right?
Exactly.
You start understanding that it's an emotional game. Like I can teach you. Like you could have a perfectly mapped out plan to do something,
exactly.
right? But when somebody comes in there and they challenge you, or they question you, or they say, "I don't know if it should go that way," are you gonna have the emotional fortitude to say, "Nah, we're going this way"?
Yeah.
And I think that's the type of stuff I want to talk about, because with this leadership thing, something I've talked about, and what I'm gonna talk about when we talk about integrating this, I want you to really apply this to everything you learned in life. When I talk about the 4 stages of learning, because really what it is anything that you do, a lot of times we beat ourselves up because like you're listening to this, you're like, I want to become a better leader. Don't beat yourself up if tomorrow after listening to this podcast you're not the best, you know what I'm saying? You're not,
come on,
not leader of nations. You get what I'm saying? It's like,
leader of nations.
like it's fine. The point is we're teaching you this because we're gonna say anything that's emotional, right? Mm-hmm. Like we talk about the school system, right? Yeah. You're taught to learn logical shit, which is, okay, learn this formula. You could learn a formula today and understand it tomorrow, right? Uh-huh. And then you could execute that tomorrow. Maybe not everybody, because people memorize things different. But what I'm saying, emotionally though, emotions take time to integrate. So I think what the leadership is, most people come from a situation of looking at leaders and saying, "Oh, I can never be a leader," because they don't understand the stages of learning of anything. Mm-hmm. You know what I'm saying? But I agree with that point, and I think just that fear, the fear of criticism, which is huge, and another huge one is not being able to live with their decisions. Oh yeah. See, because I realized that, for example, we'll talk about stuff in the business, right? Yeah. And people will lay out. Let's say I'm talking to 4 or 5 people in a team. I got a team sitting there. Exactly. So imagine you have a team sitting in front of you, and there's a very big proposal. I mean, this proposal not being right could lose tens of millions of dollars. So you go to the room. You're sitting down with your team, and you ask everybody to give you their advisement on what course of action. Exactly. Everybody raises their hand and gives 5 different solutions, and you have the 6th one, right? Now, most people say you should just do your own way. That's not even what I'm suggesting. Mm-hmm. What I am suggesting is that out of those solutions, some of those could be wrong. Exactly. Some of those could be right. Exactly. We don't know, but as the leader, the job is to make a decision like, hey, this is what we're going with, right? Mm-hmm. Now, yes, that's fine. But the thing I've always realized is that people are scared to accept that. What if they make the wrong decision? Exactly. They think that making the wrong decision makes them a bad leader. Yeah. See, it was 17 Laws of Success. They had so much great stuff in that book. Right. They talked about leadership and initiative. And in that book, what he said was that it's like an old doctrine they used to give to military commanders. Exactly. They were saying, I can't even recite the whole thing, but it's amazing, right? But the gist of it was he was saying that as a military commander, all the people that come under you, they're going to adopt your mannerisms. They're going to adopt your way of moving, your way of speech. Mm-hmm. They're going to adopt everything about you. And also, they're going to look to you when hard decisions need to be made. Exactly. Say whether the decisions is right or wrong, you better not question yourself. Yeah. And I think this is the key, because what I'm getting at here is I don't even think people give a shit about you making the wrong decisions. Mm-hmm. What I believe people give a shit about is that you made a decision. You remember that quote? You remember that quote we talked about, the same book? that the world can forgive you for making the mistakes,
but it won't
forgive you for not making decisions.
Oh yeah.
I think this is at the cornerstone of what a leader is.
Yeah.
Because the thing is,
Yeah.
we attach on to somebody. It's almost like people will follow leaders to death.
Yeah.
Why is that? Because I don't think what we want to follow something that is solid, right?
Yeah.
What I feel like makes you a bad leader is not that you make bad decisions. We're all going to make bad decisions.
Exactly.
I'm pretty sure with everything we do, I'll make some bad decisions.
Of course.
I'm pretty sure that you'll make some bad decisions. Anybody out there, you're going to make some bad decisions, but I don't think people give a shit about you making bad decisions.
That's not what it's about.
What they're looking at is, okay, do you know where you're going?
Yeah.
And are you willing to stick with that?
Yeah.
And I feel like a lot of people are scared of leadership because they don't want to be the person when the shit goes wrong that everybody can say, damn, you made a bad decision.
Yeah.
But I believe, once again, that goes down to a deeper point of what you're talking about, right? Which is what everybody thinks about me.
Well, yeah.
Oh, I'm a bad leader now. But you understand, the people who've moved the world forward have made big mistakes. And it goes back to what we was kind of talking about, living life, right?
Yeah.
Like, if you make big mistakes, that probably means you've made some big victories too.
Exactly.
And that's what moves you forward over time.
Yeah, like you just said though, like you, for instance, you make a bad decision as a leader. It's not like the tribe behind you is not really. It's like if you think about what you follow, right? Mm-hmm. You might follow like one of my favorite sports analysts is Stephen A. Smith, right? He might say, "Hey man, LeBron is trash," right?
Yeah.
Might be absolutely wrong with that, but I mean wrong for saying that, which is I don't really watch sports, but
I
just know Stephen A. Smith, so I plugged it in.
Yeah, because he's
But my thing is, he could be dead wrong for saying that. It could be like some horrible thing. I mean, it could be something odd behind it. But my thing is, a person who understands that no matter what, I don't like LeBron, right? Or I don't like this individual. I'm sticking with that. This is where I'm going. It's like, it's not even about, like, you think about that. It's like the people who are following that individual are like, I don't like LeBron. I'm with it.
Which is unlocking a clue of leadership, right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Unlocking a whole clue of leadership. People don't even care. I think that's a good thing to note today. I've learned. I've subconsciously understood this, but even hearing you say it today, that's something that I learned today.
What you said though a long time ago. What I love that you said, and that point you made of you used to think everybody had to fuck with what you're doing.
Yeah, I used to think everybody had to. It's funny though. I used to think everybody, but now that I understand business and how it works, it's like kind of fucking stupid. But I know I wasn't the only person who thought that. That's why I'm comfortable saying it.
I did too.
I used to think in order to become wealthy or in order to live the life that you want to live or live a life where you're in control, I used to think that everybody had to fuck with your product. So I thought everybody had to fuck with your music. Everybody had to come to your restaurant. Everybody had to come to your particular, like, it was no other person doing what you did. Yeah. And nobody could support that. They all had to support you. So that was crazy. Now that I visit different restaurants and I know
the niche audience.
Yeah, like if you think about it, they have different store locations in different sides of town. So they got like a mattress king. What is that big mattress firm?
You talking about, that's Mattress Firm, man.
Yeah, I think Mattress Firm. That's Mattress Firm. I've seen. Yeah, who?
Did they?
Sheesh. Some of them filing bankrupt. And I was thinking about that. I was thinking like a mattress store in all of these different places in town,
different types of mattresses.
But my thing is, if you think about it, like these people are only serving the people in their particular neighborhood, right? Congo go do what he wants.
Yeah.
He just on your shoulder.
What you saying? No, he good though.
Okay, cool.
I just hope you don't.
Yeah, he gonna piece off on you. If you don't own a cat, you gotta watch cats. Cats are still off on you and just look at you like, my house.
You in my shit.
Yeah, but I used to think a lot of people had to get down with what you was getting down with in order for you to be successful. But just listening to what we came to the conclusion of just now, all these different things about being a leader, it's just so important to understand these, because it's just like one of those classic situations. It's like in order to become the best leader, you have to listen to them. You have to listen to them, and you have to become a person who's willing to try all of these different things. Yeah, you have to become a person who's willing to try all of these different things.
And I think what I'm. So as you listen to this podcast, what you begin to realize is that it's an emotional game that people miss, and that's why you don't move to the higher levels. The logical intelligence can only take you so high.
Exactly.
And what I'm saying about the leader is, what I'm trying to get you to understand, is that the reason you're the leader is not because you have the most facts. Although mastery of a topic can be something that contributes to your leadership.
Exactly.
So,
of course,
if I'm intelligent and I have a bunch of knowledge and I have well laid out plans, that's going to make it easier for me to communicate confidence and things like that.
Yeah.
But,
or if you was the #1 basketball player in the neighborhood,
it's like,
and you started a team, of course, it would make more sense.
But even there are times when the best person is not the leader.
It's not the leader.
I think the thing is, what I'm getting at is, I always try
that's an excellent example. Though.
Yeah.
Sometimes the best person isn't the leader.
Not the leader.
So that just drives home the point.
Just
that
like
it's
you
not
can have a
even all
superstar
about
on the
skills.
team and be like, but look at the Golden State Warriors.
Yeah. KD not even a leader.
Steph Curry's not the leader.
Yeah.
They always talk about Draymond Green. He's not the best player on the team, but he's the heart of the team.
Yeah.
So my thing is, what I'm getting at is, I believe and I'm going to tell you, because he's a great example too, if you do watch sports, or even great leaders, political leaders, whether you like them or not. What I'm going to talk about later, you're going to understand that. And I guess what I'm trying to get at is that when we think about getting to a very high level in business, I want you to clearly understand this. And this is the part I want to drive home to people. I know you listen to a podcast like this, and we're looking for the tip or the trick. We're looking for, this is the tip, right? What I'm trying to tell you is, the reason this shit is so hard to get to a high level, because it's an emotional game we're talking about, right? To emotionally understand, like, you're going to feel emotional discomfort when you have to make a decision that could be wrong, that other people's success is hinging on, and you could make the wrong decision. And if you do anything great, you probably will make the wrong decision.
A lot.
Right? You're going to have to learn to deal with the emotional discomfort of that. That has to do with anything. If you got to make cold calls, if you got to go walk into people, meet new people, go into awkward situations, there's going to be an emotional discomfort that no matter how big you get, just depends. Like, for example, there's stuff that you probably don't feel that much emotional discomfort because you're used to doing it. Yeah. But, like, for example, MCing, I don't think
I'm talking in front of
you probably don't, like, when somebody says come speak, I'm not like, oh my God.
Yeah.
Like, that's easy for me to overcome.
Yeah.
But as I get bigger, maybe a bigger crowd, maybe 5,000 people, I'll feel different.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, that emotional discomfort is just part of it, right? And it's these things that people can't accept. It's not that I want everybody to be clear that all of us feel this.
Yeah. It's not like your top leaders aren't.
It's just that the leaders are the ones who deal with it.
Exactly.
And that's why they're the leaders. Because when the situations, everybody's sitting there like, what do we do? What do we do? The person who says, fuck it, this is what we gonna do. That is the leader. I don't care if you got more knowledge over there. I don't care if you got more information. I don't care how many years you studied. If that person stepped up when the emotional shit was on the line, that's what made them the leader. And I believe that, like you said, things when we talk about fear and stuff like that, it's the emotions that are holding us back. And I think that's the key. And I was talking to this conversation with the world's most hated promoter. I said, I want you to think about it like this. If you've ever studied stocks, right? And they'll talk about, a lot of times you look at stocks, and you can look at stocks, say, from a week, months, years, multiple years, right? A lot of times you zoom in on a stock, maybe over a week. Okay. You see these drastic dips. Drastic dips. Yeah. And if you just looked at that, it would look bad. It'd be like, damn, that stock is doing horrible, right? Yeah. There's a lot of times when you zoom out, you see those dips were just like this. Yeah. And then you zoom further out, even though it was a bunch of dips, over time, it was going up. And I asked him, I said, let's look at everything that's going on with you. Let's look at everything that's going on with me. Let's look at everything that's going on with you. I said, over time, have your decisions led you closer to where you want to be? Yeah. He said, yeah. Well, think about it. Yeah, you made some fucked up decisions along the way. Yeah, you made some bad decisions along the way. Yeah. But when you zoom out,
look at what happened. Look at you right here.
Exactly.
Look at you down there. Now look where you are, right?
And I made some bad decisions in there. Oh, yeah. But the whole point is, I'm not looking at the decisions in a vacuum. I'm not looking at, I made a bad decision today. I'm trash. Yeah. I'm looking at how much of the decisions do I make that are good decisions.
You know what's the crazy thing about, what's the crazy thing that I learned how to do, which taught me a lot about leadership?
What's that?
Ping pong.
Yeah.
It's very interesting because, like you said, there are days where you'll go to the ping pong table, and the ping pong is a game, of course, if you don't know. It's one-on-one, mano a mano. Individual sport. And there are days where you are not having your best. It's just not your day, right? We say the sun. I tell my opponent when I'm having a bad day, I say the sun shines on a dog's ass every once in a while.
Damn!
But basically, all I'm saying is, damn! Give me that one, man. 2 points, man. But basically, you would go in some days. I mean, one day, man, I would be on fire, man. Fire, working, backhand on point, my overhands on point.
5 feet back from the table.
My chop game, I'm 5 feet back from the table. Yeah. I'm slapping the ball like you would slap your little brother head. Remember your little brother head? Smacks. But now, and then the next day I would get in there and my game would be trash. And I'll tell you a quick story about how I even got to the point to where I am now. And I want to go to the Olympics and play professional ping pong. Now, I'm not saying I'm going to win or anything like that, but I just want the polo jacket.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah,
but
sick. Those are
I
sick.
remember the first day I got there, I was watching as if I didn't know what was going on, and I didn't. But I was there with the baseball team, and then I gradually started playing. Then I went in there every other day. Then I went in there every day. Then I got in there every fucking hour of the day. And then it just got, not every hour, but you understand what I'm saying. I was in college. All the gaps I had, they went strategically towards ping pong.
Yeah.
So I had days where I was complete shit, but I got back out there the next day.
Yeah.
I had days where I was on fire, but I got back out there the next day.
Yeah.
I had days where I was mediocre. Some people won, some people didn't. Some people came through. I smacked them. I lost.
Yeah.
I was chopping. We was going hard, but I came out on the bottom. I got back out there the next day. Next day, I run through the whole entire house. Everybody that beat me the last day. So it was these dips. But one thing I didn't do was I didn't care if anybody was on the sideline. Like, is he good enough? Like, can he play?
Yeah.
Like, is he really good as everybody say he is?
Yeah.
I was in my own world on the ping pong table. So this allowed me, I always make jokes to you, and I always say, every time I walk in the game room, they say, psst,
Yeah.
that's him.
Yeah.
I don't even think I'm a great ping pong player. What I do have, though,
Great shit talker, though.
I'm an amazing shit talker, and
one of the best in the business.
one of the best in the business. I'm
I can tell
premium
you
shit
stories. I
talker.
ain't gonna do it on this podcast. I can tell you stories
about the shit talking that we experienced
But
this week.
Yes.
Oh man, and it's not even the normal shit talking that you think like.
But
like a loud.
Yeah,
shit
that's
talker.
not good shit talk to me.
That's
though.
not
Like,
good shit talk.
A heckler's not good shit talk. It's like the person who says something that's so
calm.
slick.
Yeah,
it's so slick. It's
you-
like it just hits you like
you did
you
that.
insulted somebody.
Yeah, like without even cursing or being loud. Or
It's like
something. I'm one of those
imagine
guys.
a girl like having like all she wears is designer or something, right? You say, "Oh, you got that shit from H&M or something?" You know what I'm saying? Like she like, what? Like it's just like a slick insult.
A
It's
slick,
like,
hard, direct,
yeah, it's like
straight
some
to the
shit like
point to
that.
where I was going.
That's a shit talking. To me.
Yeah, but I'm pure. I'm pure on shit talking. But I think those characteristics led me to understand leadership.
You don't give a fuck.
No, he don't. He don't. Don't even entertain him. He just here for the ride, man. But basically, man, those my ping pong experience reminded me of the stock story that you just told.
Yeah.
And as I sit back
Perfect.
and look at the whole ping pong experience, right, to this day, if I was to ever walk back, and it was just a college campus, of course. Now, come on, I wasn't in there with the best of them, never the rest of them. Although I did take my talents across the street and play people from different, from all around the world, because University of Houston has more people around. So I got a chance to play them, and I won every day. It got to the point where I was legit like the black dude who was amazing at ping pong. So it was just one of those things. But I think it was my characteristics. I even started the ping pong club at TSU. More leadership. So it was like literally though. It was like a thing where it was like I wasn't even claiming to be the best ping pong player. I just had all of the characteristics that everyone wanted to.
But think about it, like you just said though, right? Like we said before, the best person is not always the leader.
Yeah.
And the whole point is, I love their story because what I like about it is this, right? The leader, in essence, knows where they're going, and because they know where they're going,
everybody else.
They're looking at it like, okay, this is decisions I'm making, or whatever, right? You don't like the decisions, that's fine. I'm still going this direction.
Yeah.
And the only thing that's gonna keep you good during the dips is knowing precisely where you're going. And that's why I said it doesn't matter the emotional shit that comes up, right? If, for example, when I first started, I'm going through it so many times, right, about sleeping on the floor. I just got up one day and said, I'm going this direction.
Yeah.
That's just it.
You know what's an excellent example of that though?
What's that?
Forrest Gump. He got up and started running, right?
Yeah.
Most people looked at him and said, "Oh, he tripping."
Yeah.
But those who like to run
Start running with
him, and that's what leaders are. It's not about you think Forrest Gump gave a damn who didn't want to run?
He didn't.
I don't even think that was a thought in his mind. You think I gave a damn who didn't want to play ping pong?
It wasn't
a thought in my mind. You think you gave a damn who didn't want to start a business?
No.
Wasn't a thought in your mind. So my thing is with the characteristics of being a leader, it's almost scary when I see some of my friends give a fuck about what other people think, because when I think about a person who's become so successful and why you believe, why you would say, like, why aren't these successful people helping everybody else?
Yeah.
It's so much of a gap that it would literally be months upon years of a person sitting down and talking to a person.
Which is the next thing I'm talking about, is immigration.
Exactly, which is the next step. But my thing is, with all of that, I just want people to understand, and I'm gonna keep driving this point home as I don't care about if people like you keep saying the same shit, right? My thing is, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, you cannot care.
Yeah,
I
think
you shouldn't even be designed.
You're
to
driving
give a
it
fuck.
home, because what I'm gonna talk about it next. Why a lot of times some of this stuff circles back, because all this stuff overlaps, right? And I'm gonna talk about why I feel like it's important, because I think it's what I use to become better at every aspect of my life. And I feel like any skill, I don't care what it is. If you want to play sports, if you understand what I'm about to tell you next, then you'll realize basically this is why, like, people give up too early, right?
Yeah.
With the ping pong situation, you have a direction where you're going to go. Like, let's say you want to do something like learn a new language, right?
Yeah.
Well, that's the vision for that activity you're doing, right? So it doesn't matter if you have a bad day where you didn't learn shit or excellent day where you're learning. The whole point is we have to start looking at it long term, right? We have to pull back out.
Man, that's crazy, man. I remember the first weekend I started looking at life by the year instead of by the weekend.
Oh, man, that's excellent. Say that again, please.
I remember the first weekend where my life shifted to the point to where I stopped going weekend by weekend and start going year by 2 year, by 3 year, by 4 year. I'm done.
Damn!
I remember that shit, man. I remember being so mad at myself too for thinking, like, I remember my question. I don't even ask this question anymore. It's crazy. What are you doing this weekend?
Yeah.
What are you doing this weekend? What are you doing this weekend?
What you doing with your life?
What are you doing with your life, fam?
Yeah.
I'm consistently, like, every weekend is the same for me.
Okay.
Yeah, all right, every weekend is not the same as far as growth. Everything is growing.
Yeah.
But
you're not looking
I'm
at
working on something so long term that every weekend is the same.
Yeah, I get you saying.
You feel me? It's like
you're looking at a larger map. Like a dip on Tuesday means nothing.
Nothing.
You
Absolutely nothing.
What you're asking yourself long term, is it up? Is the trend upward? Like if you study stocks, they talk about trends. Is the stock trending upward or downward?
Yeah.
Is the collection of your decisions moving your life up, or is the collective of your? Because I can tell you what it is. The stuff we talk about on this podcast. If you're following the stuff we're talking about, I promise you, there's not been anybody who's been exposed to information and applied, got over the emotional barriers, whose life doesn't start to trend upward.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, applying this stuff, we're giving it to you. You agree, right?
Free. It's all here for free.
I know everybody wants to. We got practical strategies. We got that stuff for you too. But I'm saying, whatever we give you,
all of the other free things that we give away, man.
Yeah.
Follow us on Instagram. Follow us on Twitter, man. Everything
we're
is
giving
like
shit away
we're giving
because-
shit away. At this point, in my new journey of becoming a leader in this particular field, I'm starting to understand the art of giving. Right?
Yeah, that's the key.
It's the key.
Which is another good trait of a leader.
Exactly. So my thing is, I understand that giving. Like right now, I'm cutting children's hair for free. Right now.
Right now.
As a matter of fact. Well, of course, right now. But you can click the link. You can definitely click the link below and get that taken care of. You got any children
in all areas that apply.
And my long-term goal. You remember what my long-term goal is? 1 million kids get free haircuts. Forever.
That's similar to how I want to create 1 million seven-figure business.
Exactly. My thing is, I want children and I want parents who can't afford haircuts, and I don't want it to even be a thing where they have to feel uncomfortable about it. I just want parents to be able to get children. I just understand what it's like to be a kid without being able to get a haircut.
D, what would people think about you if you just start going out here and giving out haircuts for free?
Come on, man.
Come on, man. But what about the money situation though, D? But
Come on, man.
Aren't your friends thinking, why are you giving away all these cuts for free when you could be?
Come on, man.
Exactly.
That's all I can tell you. Come on,
see,
man.
I like to do that.
But I hope as you watch that, I hope
what that was.
Like, I hope you understand how crazy that looks to people.
Yeah.
And how, like, I mean, I hope that whole back and forth situation, you got that, right?
That's what I'm saying. I'm trying to get them to integrate it, to get them to show it emotionally.
Yeah.
Like, I think a lot of times in teaching, you have to, as a teacher, right? To get better as a teacher, you have to understand sometimes you have to reduce things to the ridiculousness of what it is, right?
Exactly.
Like, you're leading the charge to do something just because you did it.
Yeah.
Because there could be people who said, why the fuck are you doing that?
Yeah.
Right? You could cut these kids' hair and get money.
Yeah.
Of course you could.
Yeah.
But the leadership in you said, this is the decision I made. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And I guess the next thing, because like I say, I want to get into the levels that you'll go through and then give them the one most powerful thing that I've learned that will turn you, like, completely shift the way you think about leadership, right?
Yeah.
So a lot of times we talked about, like with the ping pong, whatever you do, there's 4 stages of learning, right? And this is what I want you to think when you're trying to integrate this into your personality. The first stage of learning is what we call unconscious incompetence. Mm-hmm. So the best analogy I always hear is the car analogy, right? So the first time you ever drove a car, you didn't know what the hell you were doing. Probably took a lot of energy. You were thinking about, okay, the turn signal,
I remember that day.
The pedal and everything, right?
I almost fell asleep.
Basically, unconscious incompetence is you don't even know what you don't know. You come into a type like entrepreneurship. When I first got in, I just had no idea what the fuck. I didn't even know. I just didn't have any idea. I'm just
out there.
Just out there, like, holy shit, right?
A bunch of stuff happening.
But then the second phase, where I think a lot of people get really bogged down, probably quit, is conscious competence. Conscious incompetence, where you know what you don't know.
Where you know what you don't know.
So think about the emotional integration of this. In the first stage, you have no idea why you're not a good leader, and you start pushing through those barriers, and you start saying, like, man, there's a lot of ways I can improve as a leader.
Yeah.
So you get to this conscious incompetence where you don't know, you know what you don't know, right? But then if you push, you start driving the car a little bit more, you start, testing things out, you took it slow at first. You get to what we call conscious competence, which is basically, you have everything you need. You know what you need to know, but it's difficult for you to, you still have to focus a lot. So when you remember being in the car, you know how to drive, but you're not in there cool. You just kind of like, okay,
yeah,
I'm driving, okay.
Okay.
But you're not gonna crash. Yeah. You're not gonna crash, but you know what you're gonna do. And then finally we get to the last stage, is what's called unconscious competence. This is when you in the car like, yeah, what's up? Boom, boom, radio flipping. Shit. Hey, what up, boy? What up? Out the window. You don't even have to think about it. So just like you just said with the haircut, whatever, right? You said you cut hair and you don't even think about it anymore.
I'm literally all day strategizing about the things.
You could be on the phone with me talking.
Literally.
Because this is so unconsciously competent in you that it's just ingrained in your head. Like, you know how to do this. Well, integrating emotional things follows the same pathway. The first time you step up and try to be a leader, you're not going to consciously just, I'm going to step up and be a leader. But the whole point is, by constantly putting yourself in situations and dealing with the emotional discomfort, what happens is, for example, I go to, like, say, sometimes Will has these casting calls. And he'll be like, come up and speak. And he's done that to me so many times. And I've got up and spoke so many times in very high pressure situations. Like I did the Tap the Future thing. We talked about that on the show before.
Oh, yeah.
I've done it so many times that just naturally I snap into that mode. I don't think about speaking anymore. Yeah. Like if somebody says, get in front of these people and speak, I'm not like, okay, what? To prepare my speech, I'm gonna.
I need to write these things.
What would I get? I'm not like you told me you're gonna speak in 5 minutes. I'm not gonna be like, okay.
I need a paper.
What am I gonna say to these people? Is my structure going? Do I have the point, then the reason for the point, then the example, then bring the point? Like that shit is unconscious to me. Yeah. Like I'm just boom. I know I'm gonna do it. I know I'm gonna lead the conversation. I just know that. And I want to be clear. That's not magic. That's going through the same process of just explaining to you. Exactly. It's the same thing with leadership. I want you to understand with all this stuff that we're talking about is don't beat yourself up. DJ said go back through this stuff. Yeah. Listen to some episodes multiple times if it resonates with you more, because listening to stuff like this, listening to great resources over and over. There's certain books I've listened to hundreds of times. Literally. Because I just want to unconsciously ingrain it so it becomes natural, automatic without me thinking. Yeah. Right? And I think that's the power of this stuff I'm talking about. This is how we integrate everything in our life. Exactly. This is how we integrate leadership. This is how we integrate skills. This is how we integrate everything. By going through these phases. And if you understand
I love the word
this,
integrate because it's a part of our business model so much. Using these different platforms and building this digital ad agency, I just see so many things integrating with certain websites and certain plugins.
Yeah, and the integration makes it smooth.
And it makes it the thing. It makes it the beast. You know what I'm saying? So that's just an important word. I just don't want people to sleep on that one.
Yeah, please don't.
Please don't sleep on integration.
So you ready for it though?
Yeah.
You ready for the biggest realization that I came to? And it's very simple, actually. But the biggest realization that I came to as a leader.
Don't give it to him yet. I want to see what Congo do.
Congo, what do you think?
Good?
Congo. You think what?
Is it?
Okay. Congo says good. Congo says good. Okay, so I was sitting back the other day, and it really just hit me. I said, people come to me, man, I want to be a leader. I want to build my own company. I want to build my own organization. You might be out there struggling, like, how do I do it? How do I lead people? How do I start a ping pong club, even though I'm not the best ping pong player? How do I get to the top of my industry? How can I be somebody that other people will look at and they'll say, oh shit, this is a person worth following. How do I become this person?
Exactly.
And I've come down to one realization. Of course, everything we've talked about, right? But at the core, at the emotional core, being a leader is not about what you do. It's about what you accept.
Damn!
I'm going to say that again.
Damn!
It's not about what you do. It's about what you accept. So going back to our examples about, let's say I have a hard decision to make, whatever, right? As a leader, there's a show on HBO called Band of Brothers, and I never forget this. And I've told this analogy to people before because I thought it was interesting. So in Band of Brothers, there's a scene in the movie. There's this dude, he was a coward, right? Every time they got in the battle, he kept running. So they brought the sergeant out there to talk to him, and he said, Why you keep running? Man? He said, what's up? Why you doing it, right? Man? He said, man, reason I'm retreating, reason I'm running is because I'm scared. He said, bullshit. All of us are scared. Everybody you looking at,
everybody's scared.
He said, you know what your problem is? You haven't accepted that you already dead. He said, the moment you left shores, because we talking about the Pacific War, we talking about World War II shit. So this is mass death, right? He said, you haven't accepted that you already dead. He said, see, everybody here has already accepted that they're dead. If you get back, basically it's luck, right?
Could, yeah.
So he sat there for a second. You could tell it sunk in, and he never ran from another battle because he accepted it.
Yeah.
I believe as a leader, there's certain things that we logically understand. We just don't fucking accept it. It's like you're gonna make a bad decision. You want to be a leader? You're gonna make a bad decision. I can cut a lot of time for you. You're gonna do it. You're gonna have some information that looks good. You're gonna make the decision, and people are gonna be like, "Damn, that was stupid. Why the fuck did you do that?"
Oh yeah.
My whole point is that acceptance of those situations is what makes you the leader.
Yeah.
I know that when I put out an initiative, people are gonna question it. Man, maybe you should do it this way.
Yeah.
Maybe you should do it this way. And if it's wrong, they might be behind me like, boy, you made a stupid decision.
Yeah.
My whole point is accept it.
Just accept it.
You're a leader. That's what you have to accept. And that's the emotional discomfort like you're talking about, whether it's criticism. Accept it. If you think you can avoid it, that means you haven't accepted it.
Yeah.
If I'm saying, okay, I'm being the leader.
If you going to war and you think you can avoid fighting, you haven't accepted that you're
like
war.
You're in war.
Yeah, you're in war, fam. What do you do?
The same thing with leadership is like, I want to be a leader. Okay. This is what comes with being a leader. I don't give a fuck what you're leading in, whatever, right? People are gonna criticize. People are gonna question your decisions. People are gonna always say they feel like they could have done it better. They have a smarter idea, better idea. They think they're better than you, even though they won't step up. There's still some people who are good who will sit right under you, question every fucking thing you do. And your job as a leader is to accept that that's gonna happen because it's gonna happen. I don't care how great a leader you are. You don't think people question Steve Jobs? Watch some of the movies. People question him every step of the way.
Every step.
But in most of the pockets, most people watching his phone, there's Apple phones because he said, I've just accepted that shit and I'm going this direction. I believe the thing that I realized, an epiphany I had, was that a lot of times when I had trouble with leadership, it wasn't because I didn't have the skills.
Yeah.
I definitely have the knowledge and stuff. Just because I didn't accept it. I didn't accept that, shit, someday I'm going to make a bad decision. And we'll just have to deal with that. I haven't accepted that sometimes, shit, I'll be criticized. I hadn't accepted the fact that even when I make a decision or I propose something, that people may question it, even if I feel in my gut that it's right.
Yeah.
And going back to that analogy, I feel like people always want to talk about, you got to make decisions based on doubt. And you should, of course, right? But I'm saying there is something to that gut decision when I first got up, listened to the dream and said, I'm going to go in this direction. That led us to here.
Exactly.
That led us to a podcast being here. Did I make some bad decisions along the way? Did I make some bad business deals along the way? Yes. But all those deals, when you look at them long term,
what it did,
they led them here.
It looked like the exact chart.
Exactly. So when I look at it, I'm saying, well, believing in my decisions got me here. That doesn't mean day to day I'm not gonna make bad decisions, but I know long term because I know where I'm going.
Think about it. Think about everything before right now, right? Even like separate ties. Like before you met me, before I met you, I just think about. I keep like what you said to me. That one of the shit. And for those of you who don't know, I sit here and I listen a lot and I learn a lot. So I'm very grateful to be on this particular show, and I hope everybody on set is too. Just being able to listen to this type of energy every Sunday is just something that's really good for me. Every day, shit. I mean, it doesn't matter what day we record it on. So my thing is just understanding that. Okay, never mind. I was about to do something totally different, but don't worry about that because I had to look at the time. But I knew we was going to end up going 6 months if I would have did that. But basically, man, I'm gonna keep saying it, bro. I'm gonna keep saying it. I'm actually not saying it. I keep looking at Congo though. What is he doing? Is he
sleep?
Is he really sleep like that?
Yeah, he out of there.
Oh.
Jazz really mad because she talking about he don't like you. Come on, man.
Like you?
Come on, man. Yeah. He does not like you.
Oh man. Oh man. No, that was an amazing point, man. I can keep going forever, but I keep looking at him, man. I'm trying to make sure he good.
I guess
he good though. He good.
I guess like I said, man, and the big thing is with this point is it hit me because I said that I think a lot of times I've read so many books, right?
Yeah.
And I know it's so easy to intellectually understand this shit. And I'm not even saying that from a point of arrogance. I'm saying like you can read a book on leadership.
Yeah.
John Maxwell. A lot of great books on leadership, right? But I believe that the integration part of it, right? Like we don't look at ourselves long term enough, right? We're so hard on ourselves decision by decision. Whereas like when I look at my life, I know I've made bad decisions, but damn, when I look at my life now, I'm like, shit is going where I want it to be.
It's the classic, like that's what I was saying, man. I just really appreciate the graph that was painted earlier, man. As I said, I listened to this podcast myself sitting on this couch. And just amazing to me when you say certain things because I take it and I really imply it. And I really step back and look. I always think about the little kid who came to college when he first got there, bro. Yeah. The little dude, bro, just a little dude from the Southwest side, didn't really know too much, was just playing baseball with the best of them, never the rest of them, right? But it always was this thing that I kept taking these highs. I got kicked off the baseball team, lows. I started a workout class. It was high. It was high. It went all the way to
like
the pinnacle.
200 people now?
200 people. Then I did more business with people. The business failed. Yeah. Right? Plummet, right? To the point to where I was in major debt, right? All types of stuff. So you go up and down, but you see us at this point now where I continue to see more. I think it's like the chart. The chart starts down here, goes up and down, but you reach a new pinnacle. But don't you dare think that just because you got this high, I mean, it won't fluctuate up here.
Well, the thing is, think about it like this, right? Like if this is your baseline, like right now, whatever your baseline is, right, that's your low. Like I'm never gonna fall back to the point like where I was at when I first started. So it's like this was my low. Like I'm right bottom.
It's like checkpoints.
Yeah. So it's like boom, 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 drop. Now I feel like this is pretty low, but it's not this low. Exactly. I go up more and more, and I drop. I feel like that's pretty low, but the baseline was here. So each level is like you said, the business fell off. So it doesn't mean we won't have a situation where something bad happens, but it won't be like the last time it happened. You know what I'm saying? That baseline, we've passed that. I feel like that's what we're gonna understand. What I'm saying is like, just I guess looking at your life from a standpoint of let's understand like the thing that's stopping you is just having that clear path and accepting it, and then also looking at your life long term versus looking at it day by day.
Exactly.
So many people live
weekend
day
by weekend.
Yeah, it's like I made a bad decision yesterday. And you think you're the worst piece of shit on earth, when it's like everybody makes bad decisions. It's just, are you the person who's looking at it long term? Or are you the person who's looking at it short term? And I believe that's just, this topic has been something that's been on my mind this week. And that's why I wanted to come in and talk about it, because I get it a lot. I get a lot of people asking me about this, and I believe you could go anywhere and get the mainstream answer. It's just you have to be confident. You have to lead. You have to believe in yourself. But I believe a lot of times it's just acceptance of things. It's like we don't accept things in our life. Acceptance to me means you've made peace with it. Making peace with it means you're not trying to avoid it. You're not trying to get out the way of it. If somebody's going to criticize me, I could have been like, I'm going to try to do things so it doesn't happen. Whereas it's like, which would affect my decision making, right? Where it's like, I think this is right, I know this is right, I got that feeling this is right, I make this decision. And I've accepted that when I make this decision, it could be criticized. And I believe that's the power. So I think with that said, you want to get into our final thoughts from the Penthouse?
Oh yeah, man. I guess with me, for my final thoughts from the Penthouse today, man, I'm gonna continue to drive my point home. I just want people to understand when becoming a leader, one of the things that I've took from you today is that, of course, listening to something of this magnitude to allow you to gain a bunch of motivation to go take action on becoming a leader. But I don't want you to step outside of your house and say, yeah, I'm leading this shit, I'm doing this shit right now, and just expect for it to be like a natural thing. I don't want you to even expect people to understand that you are now a leader because you listen to this. It doesn't even work like that. My thing is, put yourself in situations where you can lead. Take action on becoming a leader around your friends. Just use practice. Like when you leave the club, everybody say, where we going? Hurry up and think of something.
Let's go here.
Be the guy who said, let's go to IHOP, or let's go to Princeton's house, or let's go to Jazz house, or
and people might be like, nah,
yeah,
it's cool.
but it's cool. Just continue to understand that these are the things that leaders do. That when your friend, when next time you're chilling with a person or you're hanging with a person that you like, pick out the day for them. I remember when I was young. Imagine being young and your parents take you to Disneyland, and they looking at you like, so what you want to do? And then you looking at them like, well, what you think I should do?
I don't know if I ever told that story about Disney World. I don't even want to cut you off. But like, I wanted to stay on. We went to Disney when I was young. Back when my grandmother was alive, we was actually doing well. I told you how that life went in a whole different direction. But
stocks.
But I wanted to stay on the thing, right? And I had a vision, but I was going to do it. So I systematically persuaded told my mother, I was like, you don't want to be around the park waiting on me and stuff like that. Had itineraries for what I was going to do for the day. I said, easier. We all stayed on the park. I can get back with monorails, trains, and shit like that. And they went that direction. So right. But I took that upon myself. So we end up staying where I wanted to stay just because I took that initiative. You know what I'm saying? And that, to me, that's all leadership is. It's like you have an initiative, you have an idea, and you go with it. So.
No, that was pretty much it with me, man. I just believe that when like I said, on this journey to becoming the leader that you want to be, right? The leader that you want to be, not the leader that your mom wants you to be, not the leader that your dad wants you to be, your cousins, any of those things. The leader that you want to be, I just want you to understand, continue to put yourself in leadership opportunities and just start taking
that person
control.
At school that you think is cute.
Start taking control. Even if you're in class, if you're in middle school and you're listening to this, start being the guy who takes.
I wish.
I wish I did have a podcast like this and listen to a middle school.
And I wish I would have had like the insight, bro.
If you're in middle school right now, DM me on Instagram and tell me you listen to this podcast. I'll give you however much money you need to do whatever you need to do to get started. Right now, if you're in middle school, hit me up right now.
Invest in the youth.
I'm with it, man. Because if you're in middle school taking information like this, man, I just wish I had stuff
understand how far ahead you are.
Oh my God. But you know, I'm finna get 300 DMs promising that they in middle school. They gonna be sending me report cards with the whiteout.
It's gonna be somebody's daddy.
Right. I'm in middle school, like, bro, you have a beard, fam.
Bro, come on.
No, you're not.
You develop very quickly.
But yeah, man, those are my final thoughts from the Penthouse. All of that also while understanding that all of this is just a game. Please don't overthink it.
Always back. It's first episode of this season. All this is a game. Please understand that becoming a leader should just be treated like a St. Andreas game. When you take missions,
if you lose, just play the mission again, bro. It's not even that serious. Don't even
develop some emotional fucking fortitude.
Please, man. And just always understand that no one cares about you. And I don't mean literally. I mean about the shit that you think that they care about. Yeah. Those are my final thoughts on the Penthouse. P, yours?
Yeah. So my final thoughts on the Penthouse. I'm glad I got a chance to talk about this with you today, because this is something that's been on my mind. I like talking about certain topics on the podcast, as I like talking about epiphanies as they come to me, because I feel like the audience gets them fresh. Yeah. So it's like kind of how I talk to you about them, or I talk to a friend about them. I get to talk about them on here. And I think the big thing about leadership for me is, I think so many people, there's so much greatness that doesn't come into the world because people are scared to lead, right? And they don't understand the dynamic, because for me, these emotional blocks, they're harder to understand if you just don't get them. I feel like a lot of times people born with emotional intelligence, they just get it. Yeah. They just get it. So I talk about stuff like this, and I try to go a little bit deeper so people can get it. Like, you want to be the leader of an industry, you have to have the courage to be the person out of a million that's different. Exactly. I think about it. That is by the nature of what a leader is. It's like you have to be the person who says, shit, okay, y'all all want to go play that game? I'm just going to play this game. That's what I feel like it was with me. When I first started the massive action movement, I was literally texting friends, man, we got to take massive action. And I remember people joking, like, you know how people come to you, they really joking, but they trying to act like they're not joking. It's like, people used to be like, so what's up with this massive action you doing, right? Yeah. And I remember that shit. Yeah. And I knew what they doing. I didn't take it personal. Yeah. Because what did I do? I accepted. Yeah. I accepted. That's part of it, right? When you start doing something, people think it's corny. I'm on there, what's up, guys? Massive action.
But I want you to think about
massive action movement.
I want you to think about, man, not to cut you off. Please don't leave, forget where you at. I just want you to always remember, all comedians aren't famous first. Yeah. So think about the leadership qualifications at a comedian. Think about the shit that you have to go through being an older man in today's society, slinging jokes on Instagram. Yeah. I know it's everyone who knows you personally is like, bro, what the fuck is Princeton doing on Instagram? About some business. Talking about some business, or what the fuck is Jazz doing on Instagram? It's like, doing it's fucking like, you know, comedian jokes. They come around like what the fuck is she doing, right? And then you become this amazing. It's like comedian. You know, people come around and be like, you see what your boy doing or wasn't? They really trying to get somebody else to talk about you with, like, I know that shit happens, right? But my whole point is, those same people are gonna come back because what they admire is your persistence and your leadership. Exactly. What I'm saying is, just accept that that's a part of it. Yeah. Like, don't bitch about it. That's the game. You want to play it. You want to be a leader. Big boy pants, big girl pants. Yeah, put man, them on. Always because it's like shit, man. Like, it's not. I don't even know how else to explain it. Why I talk about this shit. I'm so passionate about it because it's like when I was on the floor, nobody gives a fuck. Nobody gives a fuck that it's hard for me. Nobody cares. Yeah. Nobody cares. Like, yeah, you never had anybody to teach you these emotional skills. So fucking what? Yeah. I have to go out and learn them. I have to put myself in situations. And I think that's the whole thing about my final thoughts is just accept the role of a leader. You wanna be at the top. You wanna lead an industry. Yeah, you're gonna be criticized. People are gonna say it's stupid. Game, man. People gonna think it's funny. People gonna joke. People gonna laugh. People gonna talk about you. All that's gonna happen. But if you've truly stepped into leadership, if you've truly integrated leadership into your life, what you're gonna realize is that, oh, shit, this is what I accept because I've chosen to step up and be a leader. Exactly. And that's my final thoughts. You want to give them your social media, and I give my social media, and we'll get out of here. Yes, sir. And Congo's social media. We should do a Instagram for Congo. Yeah, we should. We got the follow Congo. Yeah, Congo. You know why Congo is the mascot? Yeah, because Congo don't give a fuck. He don't give a fuck about anything. Like, we shoot a whole podcast, man. Leans on my like he's on my arm. Yeah, just sleep. Yeah. Follow me on all social media platforms, man. Country Cowboy with 2 Y's at the end. I'm actually gonna build a YouTube soon. I got our YouTube channel, Mama's House of Penthouse. That's my only YouTube channel right now. I love it. I love the amount of viewers we're getting, even though it's not that many right now. I still love it. We get more on the podcast. Yeah, but we got way more. We're like iTunes celebrities right now. I don't understand how it, well. I don't know. I don't know how it works neither. But follow me on those platforms. Shoot me a DM on Instagram. All of that good stuff. Never sign up for beach volleyball. And complain about the sand in your toes. Damn! That's like a knockout blow. I didn't expect that. That was coming. I had that one on my head. You've been loading that one, huh?
Getting longer? Yeah. Damn, that shit was nice, huh?
Yeah, we gonna make a bunch of those.
You should have. Bro, I wish you would have went second, so that could have just been like the last part.
We can come up with a bunch of those. Never sign up for beach volleyball if you want to complain about sand on your toes.
But no, we gonna start doing the content strategy. We gonna start taking the best quotes and just post them on Instagram.
Never eat pizza if you gonna complain about sauce on your lip.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Come on, man. We can go all day.
Don't get a haircut if you gonna complain about hair on your shoulders.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You know what I'm saying? Like, what's good?
Yeah.
Don't. I got all day.
Don't get a nice edge up if you gonna complain about the burned alcohol.
Come on, man. Don't eat crawfish if you gonna complain about your lips feeling like paper.
Come on, man. Don't hop in the pool, man. If you're gonna complain about being cold when you get out, man.
Come on, man. Don't get in the pool if you're gonna be tripping about being wet.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
Don't come to the pool, boy, if you can't get your hair
exactly.
wet.
I can't get my hair. Don't be here.
Don't be here, man.
I'm sorry. Before we go, don't come to the party and talk about parties ain't for you. You in here. You're in here.
I will not get started on that.
Yeah, that would be a whole other episode.
I will not.
Let me
I will not get started.
I knew that was gonna fuck with you though. But anyway, Princeton Hicks on everything. PRINSTONHICKS. Like I said, hit us on everything: Twitter, Instagram, YouTube. Princeton Hicks is literally the same on everything. Go to takingmassiveaction.com, please, and get the 10 mandatory building blocks to build a successful business. Now, I mean, this thing is for free. Thank you.
For free 99.
For free 99. So this is 10 things we came up with. It was about to be on audio.
Oh, yes.
It was about to be on audio.
Yeah.
So this is 10 things that you can use free in your business. Like we always said, big part of leadership is giving. So you can go get that for free at takingmassiveaction.com. As always, if you want to be in the audience, mamashousetopenthouse.com/audience. You want your questions? You can hit us on Twitter or DM us, but you can also hit us at mamashousetopenthouse.com/questions. Those take priority. Mm-hmm. And then finally, if you want a Big Checks pillow, takingmassiveaction.com, Mama's House the Penthouse shirt, anything like that, go to heybodegabomb.com. And besides that, I'm gone. Congo, I'm gone.
Peace.
P, can you say some more random shit in the microphone, please?
As you continue listening to this random shit in the microphone, you'll begin to realize that working the sound engineering job is the job that you've always wanted to do. As you think about that, you'll clear.
This is DJ, and this is an epic game of wall ball. DJ and Princeton, excuse me. Let's see. His knee is kind of fucked up right now. This is a full disclaimer of why I'm gonna beat his ass.
Nah, man, bro, I remember locking in all hours of the night with you back in Houston, man. The grind was real. And even back then, man, in your Curious Keys days, I always knew you had that gift, something special about you. Man, continue to be great and inspired. Dreams really do come true, and only Wayne can make it happen.